Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us in our video segment on solvent Yupo PP paper. The purpose of this segment is to give you a good idea of what this material is and what are some of its advantages and disadvantages. This particular material is one of the most widely used materials that we use here at Postal Express. The colors come out great, their customers love its properties, which I will speak about in a moment. It is used from anything from your pull-up banners to your displays, your X stands. We use it almost all the time. The reason it makes it, reason why it's so popular is simply because of its three key properties. The first property is that it's kind of like paper, but it's a synthetic type of paper in which it is actually tear resistant. So as you can see, this thing cannot be torn easily. Okay, you would need to take a penknife and cut, and then later you can tear it off fairly easily. But in and on its own, it's very strong and it's able to withstand a lot of people touching it, handling it, passing it around. So it makes it a very good media to print on if you're doing presentations and you're showing your presentation works around. The other really cool aspect about this media is that it is in fact waterproof. Waterproof to a point where you can just drop some water on it, it can stay there and nothing will happen, simply because the media itself is waterproof. It's made from plastic, and as we all know, plastic does not absorb water. The other cool thing about it is that since we are using our solvent machine to print on it, solvent being a very strong type of ink, however we use the eco solvent version, which is eco-friendly, it will not make your ink fade. See, so you could drop some water on it and it will still remain fairly safe. Another aspect about this media is that it is UV resistant, which means when you take it outdoors, it will not fade for the next, I would say, 2 years or so. It is that is the inherent point of the media itself in the ink that we use. You have the option of laminating it, because by default solvent Yupo film is in matte. Now if you're using it in an indoor environment, I would always suggest going for matte, because the lights, you know, they won't bounce off too much. Okay, so you can see that it's matte finish, it's great. However, you could laminate it and then you will have a little bit of a gloss effect. You can see the light shining off the particular laminate here. This media, the only disadvantage about this media is that it tends to curl in after a while. There are other medias that prevent the curling, but it will curl after a period of time. So we wouldn't recommend this for the pull-up banners if it's more than a year or so, because it will start to curl within 6 months. However, the media itself is pretty sturdy and you will have no problem in showing your works easily if you're don't want to go through the paper process itself, because paper is very susceptible to damage and water. We also have some customers that always ask us whether I could write on the media. Well, yes, you could write on the media like so. However, we do not know what is the long-term effects of doing this. It may be able to erode the ink after the printout after a while. However, what we suggest is that if you're doing a design, you could use a portion of the design. For example, half of this would be your printout, and this would be where you may want to write some things. So the white portion is relatively safe. It's not going to be affected by the ink of the whiteboard marker. And you could always just erase it with a regular whiteboard eraser or some water and a tissue. In terms of its scratch proof, and well, it is fairly scratch proof. The ink dries on pretty well. And if you would like to strengthen it further, there's always the laminate option. But in and of itself, it is ready to go right from our printer. So I hope this has been useful for you. Thank you for watching our video, and we look forward to your printing requirements here at Postal Express, where we are simply convenient. Thank you.